And that if they say anything remotely racist, misogynistic, transphobic, or otherwise inflammatory and gross,
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Oh, yeah. We got the Nadar community chit-chattering away. Good Lord, man. I've been responding to people's videos, and people are making videos asking me questions. I love it. This is what you need. Dialogue back and forth. This is how everybody learns. So anyways, I responded to Nadar. It looks like Nadar has hit me back with another video, so let's check it out so I can do a quick response. Here it is right here. Let's hear what Nadar has to say.
Hi, Nadar from Malaysia. How you doing, guys? Let's talk to Pimpy a little bit. Made a video and he responded me. It's pretty good. When I said you called me a towel head last time, one of your videos you put a towel on my head, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it much. Okay, I didn't like it. No, I didn't like it. No problem.
There is no video of me putting a towel on your head anywhere. That would just be freaking rude, okay? So if you can find that video where I'm putting a towel on your head, please show me, because there's no video out there of me putting a towel on your head. Seriously, it's terrible.
Let's go through this. When you said how they doing before with the dinar carrying the dinars, let me tell you something. 80% of Iraqi use the dollars. 80% of the Iraqi use the dollars. That means when I carry $100, I carry 1,000. Used to be 1,460. Now it's 1,310, 90. That's for $100. So if I carry $100, which is $1,000, I'm carrying 1,460 dinars. Or no, I'm sorry, 1,460 dinars. That's what I carry if I carry $1,000 in my pocket. Now, in January, the 80% of people, they're gonna carry 1,460 dinars. Do you think they're really gonna carry that?
Well, let's see here. There are 50,000 dinar notes out there. That only takes 20 of them to make 1 million. So yeah, why wouldn't they carry that much in their pocket? I mean, it's not like they can't. I don't see why they would, unless they were on a mission to go buy something like, I don't know, a pack of gum. Just teasing. But look, you act like 1 million dinars is a lot. It's not. It's only 20 of those 50,000 notes, or 40 of the 25,000 notes. So yeah, that's kind of a thick little stack. I got it, but it's not impossible. It's not like your pockets are bulging out or anything. So I guess it really just depends on how determined you are to go make a purchase for whatever you need, that you're carrying around that much dinar in your pocket.
That's my point, Pimpy. If I'm not saying you don't know, but you don't see. Let's put it like this: you don't see people over there. Why the dinar was like the dollar was a big deal to with the parallel market.
Oh no, I'm aware of it. I get it.
And the exchange rate of the banks and all that stuff, of the CBI and all that. So if 80%, it's 20% that cannot buy dinar because they always have less than $1,000. So the 20%, they're not making money. Do you see what I'm saying or not?
No, I see what you're saying, but my whole point was, just because they do away with the dollar in Iraq, that doesn't mean they're going to change the exchange rate. I'm not saying they're not. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll do it. I'll take it. I would love to see that happen. But for people to make videos going, well, there's no way in how we can go on in life in Iraq without the exchange rate. We'll just suffer. No, you won't. My point was the 20% that you're talking about. So the 80% of you use US dollars, no problem. But there was still 20% of the people in Iraq who were using the Iraqi dinar. How did they purchase a pack of gum? How did they purchase a car? They use Iraqi dinars. So there's not going to be any difference between what they're doing now and what happens after January if the exchange rate doesn't change. This is why there's such a push for the electronic platform, so that people don't feel uncomfortable walking around with big ass pockets full of cash. You know, they don't want to do that if they can avoid it. Yes, the dollar made things very convenient, but it's not like people couldn't survive without the US dollar. Come on now. Like you said, there's 20% of Iraqis that still use the dinars and didn't use cash. And they were fine. They bought gum. They bought cars. You know what I mean? So even if you had to walk around with big ass pockets full of cash, whatever it takes to go make your purchase, you needed to do it, was the point that I was trying to make.
And that's the thing, Pimpy. Now, guys like me, I'm not gonna go to Iraq and carry 1,400,000, and it's a lot of money in my pocket, you know that. So now we have the card, okay. I mean, a lot of people have the card. Maybe 50-60% of Iraqi has banking cards, which is, we use a lot of digital, but still, if they're taking off the dollar from the market, they're gonna have to match the dollar. That's what I think. They're gonna have to match the dollar. They're gonna have.
I understand that's your opinion, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, again, this is why there's such a push for the electronic payment system, for the Iraqi people to start using plastic instead of carrying around cash. So let me try to change this around another way. For those people who don't use the US dollar, for those people who don't have a card before January of 2024, if they wanted to buy gum or if they wanted to buy a car, how did these people go buy a car? How did they buy a pack of gum? How did they buy a bottle of water? How did they buy a TV? How do they buy a computer? All right, I'm just focusing on just those Iraqis who don't use US dollars and don't have a electronic card. How did they survive? Those poor people, they must have starved to death because they couldn't eat. They probably couldn't get around because they didn't have any transportation. I mean, I'm feeling sorry for those people, but how did they manage to survive all this time without using the US dollar or without having a piece of plastic to do the transactions with? How did they buy cars? How did they eat? How did they get TVs? How did they get computers? They used the Iraqi dinars. They took whatever they needed to make their purchase. They make their purchase. That's how it goes. Now, look, I get it. With them taking away the US dollar, there's some logic to just saying, hey, since we're taking away the dollar, that's going to make it very difficult for the Iraqi people who are not going to feel very comfortable carrying around big old wads of cash, just like you said. Again, that's why there's such a push to get everybody onto the electronic payment system. But yes, they could probably use that as an excuse to see an increase in the Iraqi dinar. Will they? You're not going to see them go one for one or anything like that. You're going to see them go up in increments. Look, nothing would make me happier than to be wrong about this. I would love to go, oh my gosh, everybody was right and I was wrong. Darn. As I take my dinar down to the bank and swap it and get more money, I'll be really depressed about that. Oh, darn it. How dare I go down there with my dinar and exchange it for a higher exchange rate? It's not that simple. There are a lot of hurdles involved and a lot of precautions that countries have to take before you do anything that outrageous with your exchange rate. The best you can hope for is that it goes up in an increment that everybody's happy with. But you're not going to see any real huge significant change in the Iraqi exchange rate. It's just not going to happen. Despite the fact that they're taking away the US dollar. It doesn't change anything in regards to the exchange rate. I know that's everybody's crazy theory in the head that that's what's going to happen. Well, if they take away the dollar, what are people going to do? Use a bank card. If you don't have one, you better get one. If not, then you're going to have to be uncomfortable walking around with big-ass bulging pockets and everybody knows who to rob. So we'll find out. January's coming up. We'll find out. But, I just, again, that's the time to do it would be the beginning of the year. They should do it quickly so everybody could change all the budgets they had for that year. That's why you don't want to do it mid-year. If they're going to make a change at all, it's going to be happening at the end of this month or at the beginning of next month. It's just too expensive, too chaotic, not to mention it's very disruptive of the economy because people have to then turn around and rebudget everything and all that takes time. And nobody wants to go through that hassle partway through a year. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen between now and the beginning of next month.
Have to come with a small category of dinars. They're gonna have to come with 100s and 20s and 25s and, you know, 5s like everybody else. Like, remember, Pimpy, I told you this many times. A lot of countries, you look at a lot of countries, not only North Africa, not only in Middle East, not only in, you know, if you look at the Latino countries, if you look at Asia, if you look at any I mean Europe, and they have nothing. Like I told you, they have no assets. They're very poor countries, very, very poor countries. No assets at all. You know, even the assets they have is not enough, you know, to beat the dollar or be equal to the dollar or be even less, you know, 2 or 3 times the dollars. Which is, if you look at it, a lot of countries, and I can show it to you. I'm gonna put them all in the paper, and I'm gonna show it to you one day if I have time. You take a country like, let's take Algeria. Algeria is big and it's, you know, has a lot of assets and all, but they have a lot less than Iraq, and their dinars stronger than the Iraqi dinars. If you look at the Tunisian dinars, they have, Tunisia has nothing, has like maybe one, I mean, I'm sorry, 0.0001 of the oil Iraq has, or gold Iraq has, or anything, or tourism that Iraq has, or anything like that. And that dinar is 3 to 1. When I say 3 to 1, it's 3 dinars to a dollar. Sometimes it goes down to 2.9, sometimes it goes up to 3.1, 0.2, 0.4 maximum I saw this past summer. But that's my point. These people has nothing. They're coming out of a revolution. Their economy is a mess. It's completely a mess. They lost a lot. I mean, the private sector, it's, you can look at it, it's a mess. And it's still strong. Iraq, this rate we're working on it, it's a punishment rate, and it's still a punishment rate. Even if we out of punishments and out of like sanctions and all that stuff, it's still there. So that means they have to revalue. And if they're revalues, they're gonna revalue 1 to 1. That's what I'm saying, Pimpy. When I said somewhere 1 to 1, it cannot be like that. It can't stay like that. It can't. We can't stay like that.
See, here's the things you got to worry about. If you increase the value of the exchange rate, you're going to cause inflation. This will also be bad for your exports, which you guys don't have very many of them. You guys are more of an import country, so it's going to help you there because you get more purchasing power. It's just not a matter of pulling a wand out your butt and going presto. The exchange rate changes. There are a lot of other things that have to be taken in consideration. Outside investors will be happy because they get a higher return on their money, but foreign investment companies who want to come into Iraq, they rather have the cheaper labor. Investors want the higher rate. Business creators want the low rate. Iraq is just getting on their feet and they're doing all the right things. The last thing they want to do is do anything that's going to upset the apple cart. So let's use Vietnam as an example. Their exchange rate is way worse than Iraq's. So let's see how these people function with having to carry around all those banknotes just to get by. Let's see.
175.
165.
170.
170. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I didn't need a shirt. I didn't need another one, but you earned it.
Thank you.
Thank you for being honest with me.
You
okay.
Can give me the bit note. I can give you balance. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What is that? They don't have American dollars. They're using the Vietnam dong. And we just seen a 200,000 banknote. Was that a 200 or a 500?
I can give you for 10.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you for being...
Now that's a 500,000 one. And look, she happens to have change. Nobody's carrying around wheelbarrows.
honest with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. Some American dollars, but she has them wrapped up there in her little rubber band.
Okay. She's an honest lady, so if you guys come here, come visit her, please. Some people try and hit you extremely hard. Okay.
330. All right.
330? Oh, oh. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Keep money back, put in the
okay,
pocket.
330.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Wait.
You just seen them do a transaction for a small amount, and they used the currency that they had available, the Vietnam Dong. Now here you have somebody purchasing a motorbike in Vietnam using the Vietnam Dong.
Motorbike before. We've only been in Vietnam 16 hours now.
You're a millionaire.
No more. Stop waving around the cash.
10, 9 million, 2, 4, 8, 6, 8, 10, 10 million, 600,000.
Put it this way.
You don't see anybody with wheelbarrows. You don't see anybody with bulging pockets. They purchased a motorbike with an exchange rate that's way worse than Iraqi dinars. Get my point? So to make a statement that, we have to change the exchange rate because people don't want to carry around all those dollars, no, you don't have to change the exchange rate. You can see what's going on in Vietnam. You could buy food, you could buy clothes using the local currency, so you could buy cheap items as well as expensive items like a motorbike. They bought one right there on the spot. So no, they don't have to change the exchange rate. It would be nice. This would be the time to do it if we're going to be honest. But no, they don't have to. Just to accommodate people. That's the whole purpose of pushing everybody towards electronic platforms. Anyways, that's it for now. Let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. I am out.